Joan. How are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Wednesday, August the 18th, 2021. Got a happy birthday shout-out going out to Joan, Cabutin, Fernandez, and Michael Nye, and Diana-Rosales, Snow Hill, Chihuahua, financiers. I think that is a business birthday. I don't think it's Diane's birthday, but I mean, I would have thought Diane's birthday would have come up under Diane's name. So, boom, I believe that's a franchise birthday. What else? We got friends that like the Shen Show. Those are people like Tina, Kleeschulte, Ashbrook. Glad to have you back, Tina. And Christopher and Katelyn. Always glad to see y'all. And Doug Bell. Back off the road, I guess. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And Joan and Ernie. Hale. Glad to have you. And then there's Maibabalik. Kulang. Yeah, that's who they are. And my Pokey pal, Amanda Sue. Amanda S. Little, that is. Anyway, those are my Pokey pals, my friends, my followers, and generally all around folks. Plus those ones that are on my birthday, that have birthdays today. So anyway, we got some weather forecast coming up to you. We're going to bring that to you today by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non-denominational Christian church, and it's located at 2054 Campus Drive in St. Charles, Missouri. Pastored by ordained Pastor John Schumer. Refreshing Word Fellowship Church services start on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. We got praise and worship, and then we turn into the message. And then after the message, we do prayer requests. And on Thursdays, these prayer requests are prayed over, amongst other prayers that are brought up at the time that we can pray on our hour of power prayer on Thursdays from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So come on in and join our church at Refreshing Word Fellowship Church at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. Alright, here we go with that weather forecast for you. We got about a balmy 88 degrees out there right now. It's going to drop about 20 of those degrees, though, for overnight. Let's see, partly cloudy skies with stray showers or thunderstorms quite possible. Lows around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable south at about 5 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, August the 19th, partly cloudy skies with a stray shower or thunderstorm quite possible. High temperatures of 89 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and then variable clouds with a slight chance of thunderstorms overnight. Low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable. Chances of rain 30%. And then you got Friday, mixed clouds with sunshine. That's Friday, August the 20th, by the way. Mixed clouds with sunshine and scattered thunderstorms. High temperatures around 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be south to southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Scattered thunderstorms with storms may contain some strong gusty winds overnight. Low temperatures of 73 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. And then as far as Saturday, August the 21st, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, partly cloudy skies later on in the day. Storms may contain strong gusty winds. Highs around 91 degrees Fahrenheit and winds are west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Partly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures of 68 degrees Fahrenheit Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then we've got generally sunny skies despite a few afternoon clouds. Highs around 89 degrees Fahrenheit, winds light and variable. Mostly clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are light and variable. And for our final day of our 5-day forecast, Monday, August the 23rd, mostly sunny skies. Highs near 95 degrees Fahrenheit and winds south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then mostly clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds light and variable. See, 73 degrees is not bad for nighttime. Should be fairly easy to sleep to, you know. Anyway, you will notice me coughing. I've got a summer flu here, and it's just kind of throwing me off. So, you know, if you notice me coughing, no biggity deal. Go to sleep. Alrighty then. Hey, you know what? I would like to pray for my mom and dad, though. They're going through it. They're going through it a lot harder than I am. And so, you know, just keep them in mind and in prayer. They just need, you know, prayer to get over this thing. It's a heavy cough, and then you cough for a couple hours, and then you go to sleep. And then you wake up, and you cough for another hour, and then you go to sleep, and then you cough for another hour. And it's a wake up and cough, and go to sleep and cough. And whichever way you go about it, it's a coughing ball game here. So, just so long as they keep getting it up and out, that's the best part about it. And then being able to eat, I mean, because, you know, you got to be able to get up and have enough strength to eat. And once you've got that food down in you, then you get to go back and go to sleep or try or whatever. So, look, there's the situation. That's what they're doing. So, we're just keeping them in prayer, keeping them in mind, and in all God's glory. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. All right, what's going on downtown? Well, we're going to bring that one to you from Jamie's commercial. That's right, seasonal wreaths by Jamie. That's right, we've got all kinds of things coming up. Maybe even you might want to do the celebrate the bicentennial, or not the bicentennial, but celebrate the Festival of the Little Hills. Well, Jamie can come up with a wreath for that, or a table decoration, or whatever, because she's quite the crafty gal. She's got a lot of baseball ones, too, for the Cardinals. Oh, yeah, man, I tell you. You should look at some of her stuff. It's over there on Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie on Facebook. Just go and take a peruse. See what she got. See what you like. See if you would like for her to design something special for you. That's her. Go on over there and check things out. Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie. Alright, here we go. Music on Main. That's what's going on tonight. 5 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. tonight. Located at North Main Street. That's in the 100 to 200 block. Right there in the corner of it. North Main Street. St. Charles, Missouri. They got a concert going on down there every third Wednesday of the month. May through September from 5 to 7:30. Today's B&B band is the ones that are going to be performing down there. 70s and 80s rock and roll. So, there you go. Like I said, I went up to that food truck thing yesterday, but I didn't have the battery to make it around up in there, so sorry I didn't give you a better report. I did get to hear the one song, though, so there you have it. Anyway, that's pretty much all that's going on free in the St. Charles area. So we're going to leave it at that. I mean, there's other things going on, but they're not freebies, and I like to call out for the freebies. Just take those, get a new song, another song here. Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yaggity yak, talk back. just finished up buckling your broom. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight, or you don't go out Friday night. Yaggity yak, don't talk back. Well, you just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundromat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yaggity yak, don't talk back. Well, don't you give me no dirty looks. Your father's hip, he knows what cooks. Just tell your hoodlum friends outside you ain't got time to take a ride. A yaggity yak, don't talk back. Yaggity yak, yaggity yak. Yaggity yak, yaggity yak. Yaggity yak, yaggity yak. Yaggity yak, don't talk back. Alright, there you go. That was the Coasters. Yaggity yak. Alright, here's our story for today. Let's see, what are we going to do? Today's story is going to be Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red is one of my favorite stories, but this is by the Brothers Grimm, so it might be a bit grim. Anyway, once upon a time, there was a dear, sweet little girl who was loved by everybody. But most of all, her grandmother. Yep, that's right. And there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little red and a little cap of velvet red, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. One day her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Riding Hood, here is a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She is ill and weak, and they will do her good. Set out before it gets hot, and when you are going, walk nicely and quietly, and do not run off the path, or you may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go into her room, don't forget to say, 'Good morning,' and don't peep into every corner before you do it." "I will take care, great care," said Little Red Riding Hood to her mother, and she gave her a hand on it. Well, the grandmother lived out in the woods, half a league from the village, and, well, just as Little Red Riding Hood entered the woods, a wolf met her. Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked creature he was, and was not at all afraid of him. "Good day, Little Red Riding Hood," said he. "Thank you kindly, Wolf. Whither away so early, Little Red Riding Hood?" "What have you there? Have you got in your apron?" "Cake and wine. Yesterday was baking day, and so Corset grandmother is to have something good to make her stronger." "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "A good quarter of a league further into the woods. Her house stands under the three large oak trees. The nut trees are just below. You surely must know it," replied Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf thought to himself, what a tender young creature, what a nice plump mouthful she would be. Better to eat than the old woman. I must act craftily so as to catch both. So he walked for a short time by the side of Little Red Riding Hood, and then he said, "See, Little Red Riding Hood, how pretty the flowers are about here. Do you not look around?" I believe, too, that you do not hear how sweetly the little birds are singing. You walk gravely along as if you were going to school, while everything else out here in the woods is merry. Well, Little Red Riding Hood raised her eyes, and when she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees, and pretty flowers growing everywhere, she thought, suppose I take Grandmother a fresh nosegay. Well, that would please her too, and it's so early in the day that I shall get there in good time. And so she ran from the path into the woods to look for flowers, and whenever she had picked one, she fancied that she saw a still prettier one further on, and ran after it, and so got deeper and deeper into the woods. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked on the door. "Who's there?" Little Red Riding Hood. "Little Red Riding Hood," replied the wolf. "She is bringing cake and wine. Open the door." "Lift the latch," called the grandmother. "I'm too weak and cannot get up." Well, the wolf lifted the latch and sprang open the door, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in the bed, and drew the curtains. Well, Little Red Riding Hood, however, had been running about picking flowers, and when she had gathered so many that she could carry no more, she remembered her grandmother, and set out on her way to her. She was surprised to find the cottage door standing open, and when she went into the room, she had such a strange feeling that she said to herself, "Oh dear, how uneasy I feel today. And at other times I like being with Grandmother so much." She called out, "Good morning," but received no answer. She went to the bed and drew back the curtain. There lay her grandmother with her cap pulled over her face, and looking very strange. "Oh, Grandmother," she said, "what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my child," was the reply. "But, Grandmother, what large hands you have." "The better to hug you with, my dear." "Oh, but, Grandmother, what a terribly big mouth you have." "The better to eat you with." And scarcely had the wolf said this, then without one bound he was out of the bed and swallowed up Little Red Riding Hood. And when the wolf had appeased his appetite, he lay down again in the bed, fell asleep, and began to snore very loudly. Well, the huntsman was just passing the house, and thought to himself, "How the old woman is snoring. I must just see if she wants anything." And so he went into the room, and when he came to the bed he saw that the wolf was lying in it. "Did I find you here, you old sinner?" he said. "I have long sought you." And then, just as he was going to fire at him, it occurred to him that the wolf might have devoured the grandmother, and that she might still be saved. And so he did not fire, but took a pair of scissors and began to cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf. When he had made 2 snips, he saw that Little Red Riding Hood shining, and then he made 2 snips more, and the little girl sprang right up out crying. "Oh, how frightened I have been! How dark it was inside the wolf!" Fetch great stones. And after that, the aged grandmother came out also alive, but scarcely able to breathe. Well, Little Red Riding Hood, however, quickly fetched great stones with which they filled the wolf's belly. And when he awoke, he wanted to run away, but the stones were so heavy that he collapsed at once and fell dead. Then all three were delighted. The huntsman drew off the wolf's skin and went home with it. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine which Little Red Riding Hood had brought and revived. But Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "As long as I live, I will never by myself leave the path to run into the woods, when my mother has forbidden me to do so." And it is also related that once when Little Red Riding Hood was again taking cakes to the grandmother, another wolf spoke to her and tried to entice her from the path. And Little Red Riding Hood, however, was on her guard and went straight forward on her way and told her grandmother that she had met the wolf and that he had said good morning to her, but such a wicked look in his eyes that they had not been on the public road. She was certain he would have eaten her up. "Well," said the grandmother, we will shut the door, and that he may not come in." Soon afterwards the wolf knocked and cried, "Open the door, grandmother. I am Little Red Riding Hood, and am bringing you some cakes." But they did not speak or open the door, and so the gray-bearded stole twice or thrice around the house, and last jumped on the roof, intending to wait until Little Red Riding Hood went home in the evening, and then to steal after her and devour her in the darkness. But the grandmother saw what he was doing in his thoughts. In front of the house was a great stone trough. So she said to the child, Take the pail, Little Red Riding Hood. I made some sausages yesterday, so carry the water in, which I pulled them to the trough." Little Red Riding Hood carried it until the great trough was quite full. Then the smell of the sausages reached the wolf, and he sniffed and he peeped down, and at last he stretched out his neck so far that he could no longer keep his footing, and began to slip, and slipped down from the roof straight into the great trough, and was drowned. But Little Red Riding Hood went joyously home, and no one ever did anything to harm her again. See, like I said, it was a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, and so it was quite a bit different than your normal little short Little Red Riding Hood. But anyway, that is the story for today, and our story was brought to you by Thoughtful Nests. That's right, Thoughtful Nests. It's a book by Janie Christopher, and it's certainly, you're welcome to read Thoughtful Nests or purchase Thoughtful Nests. Thoughtful Nests is available at Amazon.com. So, go ahead on there and try to get Thoughtful Nests by Janie Christopher. Wake up. Mouse click. Click yes. Start dwell clicker 2. Okay. Now then, I was sitting there trying to bring stuff up and it wouldn't come up, and generally that's because my dwell clicker device died. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Okay, there we go. Had to get that voice activation turned back off too. Anyway, here we go. Today, this time for our daily bread portion of the program. And the daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by The Bible with Briscoe 2021. The Bible with Briscoe 2021 is the daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2021 will be Psalms 100 and 102. 1 Corinthians, 100 through 102. And 1 Corinthians 1. Today's devotion in the daily bread portion of the program is God Knows Your Story. And just to prove it, we're going to use the scriptures, Psalms 139, 1 through 6, and 23 through 24. So, here we go. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in, behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. And that was 1 through 6. Now we'll zip over to 23 through 24. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxiousness, thoughts, and see if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So there you have it. Just at the end of it, ask for forgiveness and for any offensive way that may be in you, that he may guide you his way. Easy enough, eh? All right, hey, that's the daily bread portion of the program, that was brought to you today by The Bible with Briscoe 2021, a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Okay, hey, that's it for the Shen Show. That's it. That's all. It's it wrapped up in a nutshell. So I'm going to just have to say, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I said goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Alright, this here's been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello, and how are ya? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show, and as always, God loves you, and so do I. So, come back and see me tomorrow, because, well, hey, I'll be here. And I hope that you are too.